The gates of Hades are attempting to prevail against the church, but according to God, they can't. He said that we're going to trample on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means harm us. Okay. Yeah, very well. So just because they're trying doesn't mean they're gonna succeed. But I just want to put out there, especially to people that are like me, people that are not normal in the way that they think about death, like just besotted with the prospect of it, people that really want to go home, like that are so unhappy in this body of death that they just want to leave. What is imperative to understand is that God created the earth for us to be fruitful and multiply in it, to fill the earth and occupy it, to, if it is possible, live at peace with our fellow man, our neighbors. Yeah, that's what the Bible has to say. It's important for us to love life. That's what I'm getting at. Okay, it is important, just like any other sin. That's what I'm out here trying to highlight to you. It is important for us to brittle the flesh and beat the flesh into submission concerning this an appreciation for life. Not so much life, but this life. This life. I want eternal life already. I just want to go to heaven and stop striving on earth already. There are people who, like me, have an extreme illness in that regard. It's no different really from like porn addiction or any other kind of sin, to just tend towards it. Yeah, I'm trying to encourage those who tend towards suicide, who so don't like life that they just want to go to heaven. We don't get to take ourselves there, and we also don't get to hate the gift of life. Plus, God did give us this place to fill it and to occupy, and in it make disciples of all nations. We cannot just take ourselves home. We have to see that we've got a problem in comparison to other people. Proper, when you've got an addiction to something, when you've got a problem, you intentionally focus on it. You make sure that whatever can trigger it, you avoid it, right? Whatever can trigger it, you avoid it. So if you're an alcoholic, you don't frequent clubs, pubs, and you certainly don't buy alcohol, and you do everything in your power to not drink, not lend yourself over to the club. You get my point. If you have a problem with alcohol, you avoid certain environments and certain people. You avoid certain company. When you have a problem with alcohol, when you have a problem with suicide, whatever it is that is the thing that tends to trigger you, you need to intentionally work on it. You need to work really hard on it. We have eternal life indeed, but you must recognize that it is problematic to not want to live. It is. It's entirely problematic to not want to live. It's problematic. God has given life is a gift. It is a gift, you guys. Life is a gift. Be it eternal or before then. It is a gift, and we don't get to just take it away ourselves or give it back to God without grieving Him. It's a gift. I ask the Lord, as I am always at His feet, asking Him to cure you from this particular tendency. Yeah, the desire to just not want to live. I like to call my situation a DNR. It's like I've got to do not resuscitate. I don't want to live. I really don't want to live. I don't. I don't want to live. It's problematic, but it's also tied to my life conditions. I find this earth exhausting. All the issues that people keep covering on the internet, they wear me out. It's evil. Everything is just evil. It's so dark. And the moment I came to discover that heaven exists, God is real, and I embraced the kingdom of heaven, more so was I just like, what's the point? Like, there is a better place. What that thing that I've been feeling is real. Like, I am an alien. So let me go. Most Christians don't think that way. Most Christians live, guys, 85, 90 years old, and this mother is still pushing. They are still so vibrant and vivacious. They're still so joyful for the Lord. Hebatung. I find that confusing, and it's wrong that I do. It's wrong that I do, because it's like, what are you holding on to? This place is hell. Like, it really sucks. Everything here is so dark. People are evil. Like, the world is it's just murky and brown and dark. But when you don't see the colors of the earth, that's a problem, because the Lord made the earth and He said it is good. And if you can't see that, you're struggling with an illness. You have an illness, and I have one. It is exacerbated and made really terrible, hard knock by my sorrow. And the sad thing is, I've always been like this, and for someone that's always been like this, for people to be this insensitive around me, it's frankly homicidal. It's like a form of culpable homicide. My mom is killing me. My sisters are killing me. My whole family extended is killing me, because I've always been aloof to the earth and its general thing that it's doing. I've never been too big a fan of this place. I just haven't. And now I am so suicidal. I just want to die that I have to keep begging God, please don't let me go out like that. Whatever happens, please protect me from suicide. And the sad thing is, I guess Satan knows that this is my, it's a big challenge for me. So he just keeps on sending his minions to send me all different kinds of death spells, like time and time again. Kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself. Your funeral this, kill yourself, kill yourself. And I'm like, you know what, guys, I really don't mind going home. Like I said, I hate this place. I don't, but I don't want to take myself there. I do not want to take myself home. I'm happy for a car crash. Even that cancer that my cousin tried to send me, I am happy that it should metastasize within 2 weeks for me to be gone the moment I get diagnosed, but it's not happening. So now I am just being tormented mentally, where it is that these random minions in their satanic batches that keep on sending you death spells, yeah, they keep sending them because they know that is a war that is the most feverish for me to fight. If you can avoid the premises of that war zone, flee. But if you are in it, we have to constantly demolish arguments and every lofty pretension that exalts itself above the Most High and hold into captivity every thought to the obedience of Jesus Christ. My family, if I were to commit suicide, they would have seen it coming. Everybody would have seen it coming. Everybody. And yet they would have just stood back. Is that not Satan? Is that not Satan? Is that not evidence of the fact that we war not against flesh and blood? They would have literally sat back and done nothing. And upon me dying, it would have been expected. It would have been clear that this is the only way that this is going to end. And yet they would have done nothing. Their tears would be worthless. Their mourns would be worthless. A mother groveling with a fitful, mournfulness over a dead daughter would be a waste of ash and air. Because you literally sat back and did nothing. Not only did you do nothing, you kept exacerbating her pain. You kept harassing her. You kept talking to her like she was smack. You kept giving alleyway and leeway for mongrels on the outside to abuse and persecute her. You left her cousins to bully her. You left people to spit on her toes, her shoes, her casket. You literally did not. You expected your daughter to stay strong for after 10 years of no love, no security, no respect, and disgusting men constantly just telling her, I'll give you this in exchange for that. And when she rejects them, they then go back over and over again to do death spells on her. And you listen, you surveil her content, you monitor her so you know that she's got a problem with disgusting men. You know. And then now that she's committed suicide, Karabo uhambile, ushiyile, she's gone. You cry. I mean, it's genuine tears of pain because negligent parents that leave their children to the dogs always have genuine tears of pain. But in the run-up to, they don't have enough sense to do differently. They don't have enough sense to prevent their kids from killing themselves. They don't have enough sense to save their kids from being raped. They don't have enough sense to protect their daughters. They don't. So they cry genuine tears at their funerals. And all the things that they could have done are only then ruminated over. But in the run-up to, nobody's trying to block an inevitable suicide. No one. Well, when my father and my mother neglect me, when my cousins and my friends, and when men want to rape me, when the Lord is my help. If God be for us, who can be against us? Satan back in the day tried to sabotage my circumstance. He tried to make me think that I got a regret letter from an employment, from the job that I got eventually, the learnership that I successfully interviewed for at Liberty Life. He tried to make me take myself out before I would get a call in just 2 weeks. It would be mere days, do you understand? From discovering that I was successful in the learnership, from the date that I would have committed suicide. Days. Confirming, therefore, that suicide is a permanent solution for a temporary issue. The women who are harassing me right now have made mistakes, but they think that there's no hell to pay. They are latching on to nothing. Do you understand? But the prospect of not watching me do anything that I wanted. They are latching on to nothing but their jealousy. They are trying to finish me. And then another dream that I got last night, this random other cousin that rescinded her job opportunity offered to me, that acted a fool. Yeah, I got a dream of her being my monitor, saying, I will give you a job insofar as you apologize to me. What did I do to have to need to apologize? Did I slap you? Did I swear at you? Did I speak smack to you? No. All I did was say, no, thank you. I am not about to stop uploading content just because you said so. I am being told, apologize to me. Like somebody literally lording it over with an iron fist. And the only reason why all of these people feel like they can actually run me like this is because of the very woman who, even though teachers kept on saying, Your daughter's wonderful. Even though people kept on saying you have such a pretty girl, even though she in and of herself observed it later on when I got really successful, she left me then to get devoured by the very people who knew I was excellent, and now because I have nothing, they're trying to take me over like a tsunami. Yeah, that woman, that very woman that left her child in Defela to rot, even though she was told you've got a beautiful daughter. The very woman that could not care less to receive a mahadi, to receive lobola for her own child, does not care to get grandchildren from her own kid. That same woman is now being used by people to control me. Yo, guys. Karabo. You're gonna keep her in a bunch on my behalf. Men lean on her. Women lean on her. This woman to make sure that I eventually do what they want me to do. So I mean, really, is that not a mother that when her daughter commits suicide should have seen it coming? Because Papa, you pimped her out. You pimped her out. You pimped her out to disgusting men, and you made jealous women feel like I can walk all over this. She caused my cousin to imagine that she can actually finish me. Everyone over they know that they can go through her. They just know. They trust her to be complacent, do nothing, and they also trust her to raise an issue with me should they say I'm not happy with this thing that Karabo was doing. I am held hostage. Utusa lefate a daughter that everybody in the run-up to let her know you've got something special. Such people are without excuse. They get handed over to their reprobate mind. Such people are literally without excuse. They are without excuse. My family can slap me silly because sometimes extended relatives can suck. Do you understand? But when from inside your own base camp, inside your own immediate family, when you have no support there, that's when it gets really taxing. That's when it gets really taxing. I could have survived the insanity of my uncle. I could have survived the insanity of my cousins. If at all my mom was there for me, or even my sisters, but I have no such thing. I have this weird little circumstance, and as a result, men are entitled to me. Some of them, like I said, Baku, Labato, they've got HIV. The very thing that I, like back in the day, I would have committed suicide if I had tested positive. I've done everything in my power to flee, avoid that disease. And now it's pursuing me like a bandit. Like a bandit. Men who are like, are so that level of entitlement only because they have made an observation that my life conditions are such that nobody is coming for me. Nobody's gonna care. So I need to just go and let myself go and contract HIV. I just need, because I'm 40. Yeah, well, apparently I am so not 40 that I'm apparently 32. And yet nonetheless, HIV is something I just need to take in my stride because it comes with money, it comes with protection, and it comes with support. And if I don't want to take it, it also comes with wiped fingerprints on a gun that has killed me. But will I really? Men that feel entitled to me. Women, and now they don't want to watch a woman organically fall in love with a man. Women that are actively trying to age me over like any spell. Like if it's a spell they can cast, they keep casting it. Displaying themselves as Judas, displaying themselves as Saul, displaying themselves as not chosen, displaying themselves as those that even though God has given them grace, life and death, blessings and curses, they choose death. They keep choosing hell at my expense. They keep sabotaging. They keep recasting the same spells on me over and over and over and over and over again. This cousin has told herself that over my dead body, before you will ever, Karabo Ankutwa, ever rise the way that you rose before and humiliated me. Just the prospect of me getting anywhere ever again makes her cast new spells to a point where now apparently I gotta turn 32. I'm 40. How can I possibly turn 32 when I'm 40? Apparently it's because I am that young looking. That's what's happening. Those are the things that are pursuing me. So I mean, a woman that is that beleaguered, why would she not want to commit suicide? Why would she not want to die? Why would I be expected to maintain a healthy mind when that is all that is encircling me? I can't even watch my video. I can't even, like, my content. There's just so many volumes of it. I'm backlogged. I keep recording because this work is healing to me. I can't even take a break just for the sake of catching up, because the moment I take a break, I get so melancholic, so macabre, I get so depressed that I feel like I'm gonna die. So trying to record a video and just to make myself feel better. A life like that, I'm living on the edge. Indeed, we take up our crosses every single day and follow Christ. But a person should not be feeling like today they could die, but tomorrow they're okay. They should not be feeling like they did enough to make themselves feel better today so they don't commit suicide, but tomorrow morning they're gonna wake up just suicidal all over again. I've been looking at God, begging him to get me out from this harm that I'm in. I am not safe. I'm not safe. The disgusting creep in America. Yes, like that. He thoroughly thinks that he is Romeo and I am Juliet. He will not die unless I'm dead. And he has told himself, that all the way come hell or high waters, he is going to make sure, he's going to be the thing that hinders anything that he can. That's a man that has accepted, he has taken it in his stride, he's accepted that he's going to hell. That's a man that has told himself that he's going to make war with the kingdom of heaven until he dies. That's a man that is an enemy of the cross. He has determined that he's going to go to hell. Who is going to protect you from that? Who's going to protect you from a person that is determined that they won't die until you do, but they claim they're Christian? It must be a God that can save your life even though his goes. A God that can kill him and spare your life. A God that can ensure that since he insists that he's going to make war with the kingdom of heaven until death, then I guess he gotta die. But you live. Who is going to rescue us from people that keep on doing spells over and over and over again on people because they don't want to see them succeed in ways that they failed? You see, the thing about witchcraft and witches is that they do spells to get ahead in life. Everything. Everything they need, it's a spell. I want to fall pregnant, it's a spell. I want to get a job, it's a spell. I want to get married, it's a spell. I want to pass a test in school, it's a spell. I want a job promotion, it's a spell. Everything. I want to grow my hair, it's a spell. I want to clear my skin, it's a spell. I want to lose weight, it's a spell. They use witchcraft for everything. So manja, when you have leaned on dark magic for everything, of course you are going to look upon the saint of God that's waiting patiently, organically on the Lord. You're going to look at them as a target for your killing. You are going to be Cain to Abel, for your sacrifices are blemished. You who keep on going to church, but you use the spells for everything, including bewitching parishioners in that church. On that day, you are going to end up nothing but an inevitable Cain killing Abel. You will kill a person that's genuinely and organically waiting on God for answered prayer. You will not be able to stand them. You will hate their guts because they are doing what you are not. That which you have failed abysmally at doing, they are doing it. You are going to try and force Banabamudimu to do things you don't want them to do until finally they go and commit suicide because you are literally that bizarre. You are that extreme. You keep on afflicting them to a point where they feel like, I can't anymore. You take my life. What do you think God is going to take from like, Papa, what's going to be taken from you when you take the life of a person that could do nothing but prophesy the name of God on a rooftop? I am being pursued by death spells day and night, and women trying to make me do what I don't want to do. I had a dream of me waking up in a hospital, having given a public one, having given birth to a baby, because they insist that before I will work again, I must give somebody a child. They keep doing the same spells over and over and over again. That's the kind of stuff that can cause a person that's been waiting to see if maybe my job interview was successful to just kill themselves before they get the call telling them that you have successfully interviewed. I am being pushed to suicide quickly before something gives. Clearly, they're scared of something. So the point that I am now trying to conclude in making is this. The Liberty Life thing, that story, Sako Liberty Life, it's making me have an eye-opening moment. I remember that the devil tried to kill me literally days before I found my way out of depression. Not only that, I know that the devil knows that I have a problem with suicide, ideation. It's been a problem all my life, with reprieves only in times when I've been able to take care of myself. And right now I can't do that. And it's been lingering for 10 years. I cannot take this anymore. I happened upon this, what do you call it? This article on Chorus Digest, that guy that was speaking about 6 months, how he was job hunting for 6 months. And the letters on the page stuck out to me. That was God basically saying to me, you are giving up too quickly. You've only been applying for jobs for how long, Karabo? 3 weeks, 2 weeks, a week maybe, even a week and a half. And I came back the other day saying, I'm not doing it anymore. Nobody's calling me. And then he reminded me, since that guy on Chorus said that he was job hunting for 6 months, I remembered that I job hunted for that learnership program at Liberty Life also for 6 months. It was long and I was depressed in it and I could not deal. I had limited resources, could only buy a workplace twice a month instead of all. Could only buy a workplace twice a month. In fact, I think, how often did the workplace, anyway, whatever, I could only buy a workplace twice a month instead of every single Wednesday. And so therefore, I was always just restricted as to when it is that I finally find an opportunity. But one day, God, there was a door that was open, that opening in the newspaper that I responded to from Liberty Life, ultimately bore fruit, and I got into the program. It took 6 months. Basically, God was telling me, if it took 6 months before, you can't expect it to take 2 weeks now. You are only frustrated because of how extremely beleaguered on all sides you are, such that when you send out your CV, go to and nobody's coming back to you. What they want is for you to give up. But if completely unemployed people Can job hunt, if completely unexperienced people that have never even worked a day in their life can job hunt for 6 months until finally they get placed somewhere, what then will the person that has the amount of experience that you have, what are the odds that you will finally get somebody that's going to call you? They're a lot higher than a matriculant with no experience at all. Your odds of getting somebody calling you for a job interview after you try and try and try is literally several percentage points, if not double-digit percentage points higher than that of a fresh matriculant. You have experience that people can use. It's just that not everybody is prepared to look at you because of the 10-year gap in your CV or whatever. And even back when you were applying for jobs while employed, you still would have a month, 2 go by with nobody calling you, even though you was like actively employed. You were actively employed. You would send out a CV trying to move elsewhere while actively employed, and still 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months would go by before any recruitment agent would call you. You remember times like those. So if at all you can have a 3-month dry patch of time pass by where it is that nobody's calling you back when you apply for jobs while working, and if at all people can be sitting at home that have no experience at all for 6 months and then they finally get a job interview and then they're working. Why under heaven do you think you are different, Karabo? You cannot just apply for 1 job or 3 or 10 in 1 day, and then because you didn't get called back, the phone is just a zombie. Then give up. You can't. You did not give up back then. Why? Because it wasn't an option. It wasn't an option. You didn't have an option to not buy the workplace on Wednesday. You didn't have an option to not use your shankura 2 rands to pay the container phone services, to call a landline number on which you're going to be holding until you have to hang up because you've spent all your money, even though that frustrated you and it made your heart break, or you spent your money on just holding, waiting for somebody to answer on the other side. Bottom line is, you kept on going back because it was not an option not to. Well, this time around, if you stop, you are going to be more spoiled than any other time in history. Why? Because you don't even have to wait at a container. Using resources you don't have, money that is depleting while tariffs are running on a phone that you are billing, and that the bill is just the skyrocketing and climbing. You don't have to pay even a fee at an internet cafe to write an essay like you did before and then send it to Liberty Life. This time around, you've got free Wi-Fi, 24-hour internet. You don't have to lift a single phone. You don't have to call anybody. You don't have to call anyone. What you have to do is just keep sending your CV out. You have not only got a Career Junction profile, but you've got a PNet Junction, a Careers 24, a Talent Scout, or what do you call this, profile. You have got a LinkedIn profile. You have got a profile on multiple career sites. Every week, at least once, at the beginning of each week or whatever day you choose, you have got to try and apply for a job, just like buying the workplace on Wednesday. You don't have to apply every single day because they tend to post weekly anyway. But you need to go back and check every new week what's newly uploaded the past week. Somebody is going to call you. That young gentleman on Chorus Digest got called after 6 months. Back then, I got an opportunity with Liberty Life after 6 months. When I was employed in corporate South Africa, sometimes months would go by, even though I wanted to hop from one job to another. Months would go by before anybody called me. When I was at Nedbank, for instance, I was always applying outside and also on the intranet. I don't know how many intranet opportunities I applied for, and only after 8.5 months of just applying for jobs on the intranet to move, they finally called me. When an opening for a training center administrator was made available on the intranet, and they called me. And I didn't get that job. I got another job as a facilitator because they rather chose to bring me on board rather as a trainer because they loved me that much. But it took 8.5 months. The Lord was basically telling me, Labantu Laba are leaning on the fact that you are disillusioned and disquieted. They are leaning on the fact that you are in pain. They are leaning on the fact that you feel like nothing is going to give. They are leaning on you leaning on a volatile platform like as YouTube to finally recover. They are leaning on you throwing in the towel so you will eventually do what you don't want to do. They hope to one day make you do what you want them to do. They want to make you accept whatever job they're offering you that does not make any sense, even in the slightest, so they can control you, so they can maneuver their grubby fingers into your ministry and dictate the direction of what I am speaking through you. They are sitting back waiting for you to settle, sitting back waiting for you to compromise. They are waiting for you to beg them for a job, and when then you go and you beg them for a job, even though they wanted to make you an administrator out here, ordering digestive biscuits on a system. Yeah, they will insist that the only way that they will give it to you is if you stop uploading on social media, or with them telling you what to upload on social media. They will literally try to dictate the direction of your ministry. They are literally, people that are trying to control the narrative, telling themselves it's only a matter of time. Guys, there is nobody that has used witchcraft to acquire everything that is ever going to give you peace on a job that you get as a Christian. In their midst, they will be your abuser. They will persecute you. They will harass you. They will insist on maintaining a narrative, and they will also surveil your social media. You have got to make sure that you work for someone that does not know what you do online, so that nobody can persecute you for your job. And if they find out, let them find out on their own. But it can't be people who historically harassed you. No man or woman that has only ever leaned on Satan to get a new job, only ever leaned on Satan to get a baby, a husband, is going to give any blood-bought, born-again child of the living God, patiently waiting on God for answered prayer, a break. It'll always come with fine print. It'll have fur and be growing peach fuzz. It is always going to look nasty. Do you understand? So therefore, when they are standing back in the season of your unemployment, hoping that in desperation you will beg them, they will give you a job, but it'll come with terms and conditions that cause you to be silenced in your ministry. You are going to basically be told, unless you agree to this, you cannot work, essentially tantamount of taking the mark of the beast. Rescind Christ. Recant your faith in him. Or be fluffy, be seeker sensitive, lukewarm. Say just butterflies, peach fuzz, and knickknacks in terms of ministry. Say nothing but a Joel Osteenic type message. Nothing but a Joel Osteen-like type message. Nothing but a message that's just going to be like, the smiling preacher. Smiling preacher. That's all that this prayer. Just no hard knock rebuke, no calling out witchcraft, nothing. What you need to do is just say, Jesus loves you. Yes, he does, for the Bible tells me so. And little ones to him, they know they are weak and he is strong. They want you to say a message like that. You can't be deep, heavy. One second. They will insist on determining the course of what you do, your ministry and what have you. And that's the thing that's been breaking me. Like, I pray, guys, and a lot, and I'm still in a fast that I haven't gotten out of because there's a lot of attack around my person. Yeah, and some of the stuff that I'm praying and fasting against is that these people never ever get to have any hold of any of the controls of my ministry. They will not have the steering wheel. They will not have the clutch. They will not have the brakes. They will not have the accelerator. Nothing. No control over this car that I'm driving. Not even remotely. I won't even drive a remote, what do you call this, an automatic car. It has to be maneuvered by me, as in I'm putting it into first gear, second gear, third, and I'm the one, pressing the brake pedal or pressing accelerate. No one, because I cannot drive this ministry with anyone but a true saint of the living God. I cannot share the work that I do in Christ with anyone but a true believer, and nobody is ever going to be able to influence the direction of what I am doing here unless it is a true child of God, because there our heads are combined and we are of one accord. We are of one mind. We agree with each other. But people from the kingdom of darkness who are sick and tired of you talking about witchcraft, stop calling us out so much. A person that has bewitched everything in these streets to get anything in these streets is never ever going to be a safe employer of your person. You are never going to be safe. You are never going to be safe. So you have got to wait on God. But that's the thing. The Lord is all about delayed gratification, and God knows what is already yours, what door he has opened. The Lord had already long ago opened the door for Liberty Life. I was supposed to enter in and then ultimately grow from there. I was never supposed to work for Business Connection or Old Mutual. I was never supposed to get any other job at any other call center, or nowhere else was I supposed to ever work but there. And it would take 6 months before that job even became available on the internet, not on the internet, sorry, but in the newspaper. It would take 6 months before that learnership opportunity became open. Also, there were learnership opportunities being opened across multiple other organizations like FNB and Old Mutual and etc. They all didn't want to see me, Standard Bank, but Liberty Life did. Liberty Life called me for that. So basically I was supposed to go to Liberty Life, but like I said, it came after 6 months. God was basically telling me when he caused those letters from that Chorus Digest article to boldly stick out, he was warning me that if you don't keep on trying to look for a job, Labantu, they're gonna vimba you one day and you are going to be harassed through your mom. She is going to make you feel like you are just this unemployed, worthless thing, while conveniently neglecting to recall the fact that I didn't reject the job that they gave me. They just came and told me one day, we'll give you a job, but shut up on YouTube. And that, I'm sorry, ain't nobody ever given me any job anywhere historically in the past where it is that they insisted that I stop anything before I will work that job. Nobody has ever given me that caveat because nobody has ever surveilled my life that much. These people are freaking taboo and bizarre in the way that they are looking at my life. And like I said, they are Cain, literally hateful of Abel's good sacrifice. I am not safe in the hands of a person that has gotten their entire career through witchcraft. I am not safe in the hands of a woman that has gotten children through witchcraft. I am not safe in the hands of a man that has only ever gotten girlfriends and wives through witchcraft. I am not safe in the hands of people who cannot keep their hands out of the cookie jars of people. I am not safe. I'm a servant of God. They will forever persecute me, and look at how much they want me to die, kill myself if I don't want to go out like this. And as for the members of my family, shame on them. Shame on them. Shame on them. By the time I share this content, my prayer is that I will already have a job, because I'm so severely backlogged with uploading content online that I will be safe to upload this because I finally got the job. But God has been warning me that, Karabo, yeah, I will give you your YouTube channel, but you cannot stop looking for a 9-to-5 job. You have to find job security. You have to find something that is stable, that's not going ish. You have to try everything in your power to get back out there again. And for as long as there is no hope in sight for anything else coming through your way, you are never going to feel a sense of peace. If you apply for jobs and nothing comes, nobody calls you, at least you know that you're trying. At least you have something that you're throwing out there. Cast your bread upon many waters. Cast your bread upon the waters, and after many days it will come back to you. You cannot trust that you're going to get a job interview or anything like that if you're not constantly applying. Somebody will eventually call you. Literally, it could be just like with Liberty Life. It was not like I didn't go to a plethora of interviews. It was the only one. Quite literally, there was another opportunity that rocked up, but it was not quite a proper job. It was sales. Like, they were trying to make us sell T-Mobile cell phones to, what do you call this, to another country like England or something, or yeah, I think it was the UK. And it was horrible. I'm not a salesperson. People kept on hanging up on me, and it was a commission only job. Nobody got a basic salary type setup thing. I left as quickly as I started because it was not for me. I'm not built for sales. I can't do it, etc. All that jazz. That was the only other opportunity that came up in that time, and they were willing to give everybody a chance because it was a zero risk for the company, and all the burden was on all of us. Nobody was getting paid unless they sold cell phone contracts, and I also ran out of money to take taxis to keep going back to work, so I just quit. That's what's good. I didn't go because I didn't have money to catch a taxi type thing, because my mom was not giving me enough money. I don't know how many times I can say that. That was the one thing, that happened. But other than that, in terms of an actual proper job where they offer you a salary and they want your banking details and you are like part of staff and whatnot, you've got a contract, nah. That did, like, literally the only company where anything gave was Liberty Life. It's not like I had a slew of interviews, and the only 2 interviews that I did go to, no, I didn't actually go to the interview in the one. I went for one interview with Business Connection, but that was a connection through my cousin, and they didn't want me because of the fact that I kept on saying I'm going to go back to school. And they were like, I'm going to be a flight risk. They wanted to hire somebody that was going to stick on board. And then at Old Mutual, I put in my CV, I applied, but they didn't call me. But my cousin tried to pull that string for me. It did not work out. But yeah, however, everything else that I tried for myself, why are they flying all over the show? Everything else that I tried for myself, nothing. It was just dead quiet. It's not like I was in and out of interviews every week. I'm going somewhere, but they're not giving. Liberty Life was a one hit. Like, it was all of my eggs in that one basket. It was all of my eggs in that one tiny little basket, and it turned out not to be all that tiny now, did it? It was all my eggs in one basket. It was the only opportunity that gave any kind of promise, and it went from the beginning all the way to the end. So when the whole world underestimates you, what I'm trying to explain to you is that one door that God opens will tend to be just one door. It will tend to be only one door, and you will want to have a plethora of options to choose from because it's just safe that way. You're hedging, but if it's just the one opportunity and it's yours, you're gonna get it. But the devil might pull a trick on you and create an optical illusion to pretend like you didn't get it. Yeah, so do not fret and front when it's dry for like ever and a day. I'm encouraging myself here as well as anybody else who could be encouraged by this. Do not fret and front when it's dry everywhere. Bottom line is, all you need is one opportunity. I keep saying, even with YouTube, and wicked people encircling you thinking that you need them, all you need is for one powerful man to repent, for all the minions underneath to basically be humbled, because he will give you favor when they have no interest that you should be okay. How I used the example with Pharaoh. Joseph only needed Pharaoh. He did not need all of Egypt, or even people with his brothers to come around. He did not need the prison system to set him free. He didn't need to get set free from prison first and then see what he can do in Egypt. All that Joseph needed was Pharaoh. All he needed was Pharaoh. And that relationship with Pharaoh gave him respect in all of Egypt and made him the second most powerful man there. All that Daniel needed was Darius. All that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego needed was who is this? Nebuchadnezzar. All that the people of God, all that the people of God in the story of Esther, the Purim story, needed was Xerxes. They did not need Haman or the people in Persia or ancient Iran to change their mind against the Jews. They just needed one man, the king, to send out a decree concerning God's people. So do not worry yourself when it's just too dry, too quiet. All you need is one opportunity, just one open door. One. You don't need 20, just one. So when you apply like a dog on Career Junction, PNet, Careers 24, what do you call this? LinkedIn, when you apply on talent websites, actual company websites where and nobody comes back to you. Yeah, I waited 6 months the first time. At Netbank, 8.5 months. Right now, so far, it's been 10 years, but I haven't been applying the entire time. I've been in batches applying, but this time around, this time around, I feel like God is telling me, you gave in too quickly. You threw in the towel too quickly. I'm not going to get my YouTube channel without going back to corporate. I'm not going to be left alone. This guy in America is disgusting, and God could have killed him, but he hasn't. God could have neutralized that guy, but he hasn't. He keeps on trying to kill me. Like I said, he thinks I'm Cleopatra and he's Anthony. He thinks I'm Juliet and he's Romeo. He thinks this is star-crossed lovers and that both of us are going to end up dead. He thinks that we are birds of a feather. He thinks that we are both rejects in society, except not from the vantage point of being a criminal. I am one because I'm a Christian, I'm a disciple, and the world has rejected me. He is a reject because he has made the bane of he has made the lives of other Americans uncomfortable. He is the bane of America's existence. Just last night, the Lord had told me that he's got so much blood on his hands. He did not confess much of what it is that he did before, but he's got so much unaccounted for blood on his hands. He's killed so many people that him expecting to end up with a Christian wife is just naive. He's a murderer, in the worst way. He was a gangster, but he wouldn't tell me whether or not he'd killed before, because he never got caught for it. Never got caught. And seeing as he keeps on burning some strange ritualistic candle, he then also kills spiritually too, using means that are unseen and untouchable. Because if I'm all the way in South Africa, he can't exactly kill me. That little menace in the US, God could have killed him, and yet he hasn't. Why has the Lord kept him alive? I don't know. Still to this day, he is the biggest worry of my soul. He won't leave me alone. He's a stalker. But the one thing that is going to relieve me from the weight of that man's witchcraft is if I am independent, is if I gain a job, is if I am cool. And so therefore, every time he casts a spell, it's who cares? Witchcraft, which is the thing about it is Christians tend to look cursed until it becomes clear that they never were cursed, they were just tested. So witchcraft at some point gets to a place where it's just useless. It's vestigial. It's this thing that they keep on throwing in the direction of believers with it going nowhere. And therefore God then proving that their sorcery never ever worked. Job was never under anybody's spell. He was just tested. And when then the tests lift, it's going to be so embarrassing and bizarre to witches because they won't know why they keep on casting spells over and over again in the same capacity, and yet they don't work. They think we're in their clutch until they discover that we never were. They were just shooting blanks, but by then they would have been so disreputed and reviled by their works that they won't be able to recover. Like my cousin, after doing this to me, no wonder she keeps on going back to a drawing board. No wonder she is even desperate to turn me 32, as if though I'm not already 40. No wonder. No wonder they just keep, they think they can control people with this until it becomes clear that Christians can't be touched by it. So don't give up. That's all that I am trying to put out there in this message. It's my own encouragement and hopefully yours too. Those of y'all who suffer with suicide, who struggle with the ideation, with wanting to go and leave this earth, I hope that as the story unfolds, you will be encouraged by how it came out, how it turned out. My prayer is that you will be encouraged by how things eventually unfolded. I am scared, like out of my mind with how this is going, because it's fearful to see the wickedness that these men and women are walking in. It's fearful. It's scary. And it weighs down on my soul. And with me having no job, no avenue to take care of myself, to do basic things like buy my own tampons, it's daunting, because these menacing psychopaths are hurting me precisely because of that thing. Like indaba yokuthi angikwazi ukuzithengela ama-tampon, yabahlanza. I have to overcome it, so that now whatever it is that they slap me with will just bounce off. And the Lord, I feel as if though, has been warning me to not give up on job applications. So today's Monday. Even though I didn't apply today, I will certainly apply tomorrow. I shouldn't give up. It's hard to open my email and see nothing. It's hard. It's hard. And it's going to be hard for however long this takes. But I'm never going to escape the tyranny of my mom. And I'm never going to escape the tyranny of my cousins. And I'm never going to escape the tyranny of this menace, this psychopath, this disgusting man from America. I'm never going to escape the tyranny of, what is this? Like, guys, like, you know, even the rationing of toilet paper for me is just so freaking disturbing. I can't deal. Like, I'm never going to escape that. Like, the fact that a man can thoroughly think ukuthi mina ngizokuthengela i-18 pack yama toilet paper, it's disgusting. Like, that men can negotiate for my heart. Kadi tampon, the toilet paper. I find it disgusting. Like, can I be that lowly? Why am I that lowly? It is the right thing for women to reject men when they don't have anything, when they live in a society like South Africa, when they live in a world like this of the last days, where men's hearts are so darkened, when it's perilous, when people have such a moral turpitude that they can't just leave a woman alone. No chivalry, nothing. Like, they just take what they want, and they just take what they want. And when they don't get it, they then deteriorate to murder. They deteriorate to murder. And then women just stand back and do nothing. Instead of repent and just feel like they do nothing. They do nothing. Yeah, that's going to keep happening until I get a job. And I don't know when I'm going to get a job. But one thing that is certain is that I cannot upload such content as this until I have one. So my prayer is that God will fast track the whole application process. Whatever happens, guys, like proper, like I need to get out from the clutch of my enemies, because maybe, just maybe, once I'm out from underneath their clutch, they might actually find an incentive to repent, because right now, Bafilankare, they are in a position to control me. Their envy is so extreme. Like, there is no way that you can bewitch everything and everyone to get everything and everyone that you want in your life and leave a person organically waiting on God for answered prayer alone. You will covet them. You will envy the living daylights out of them, the way that Cain coveted his brother Abel. If you don't give God a good sacrifice, you will inevitably envy the one that does. Cain was told by God, if you do what is right, will you not be accepted? That was the thing. These people don't do what is right. Every new contract for the tender to start a build project, ritual. They gotta go do a ritual. They gotta go consult Mamlambo. They gotta go this and that. They gotta go see a sangoma about a promotion. Everything they do, manyalo, a marriage, before they walk down the aisle, they gotta seal that thing, that man. They gotta clutch him in with witchcraft. A person that is that reliant on witchcraft is literally never going to be at peace with a saint. They will be like Saul to David. They will be like Cain to Abel. They will just be the bane of the innocent person's existence. So you are not safe in their company. You are not safe in their company. Therefore, Christians, the one thing that I pray for you is that you will pray for God to steer you clear of the path of people that use witchcraft for everything. Because when you out here have the language of heaven on your tongue and you speak holy stuff, when you are pure, because you're just good old-fashioned waiting on God, they will sabotage you to settle. That's what's happening with me. Bang patakele ko Joburg Jen, giving birth to a child in a public hospital while my stitches are still raw, discharging me because other women have to come in and give birth. Bang patakele pregnant out of wedlock, having a baby before I can work so that they can leave me alone. Like stuff like that. No regard for my spiritual convictions. Keep on killing my husband before he even comes along. They do stuff like that. They will literally chart the course of your life using witchcraft. They will try to sabotage you so we can all be in this together, kumbaya-ring, swaying left and right as on a boat in wickedness. They cannot be the only ones. They will not be the only ones. They literally will not be the only ones. They will refuse to be the only ones that lean on Satan for everything. So they will try and frustrate your life so much as a Christian that you will end up when giving some random deadbeat a baby out of wedlock, or having sex with a guy just to get a job, or falling pregnant out, you get my point, out of wedlock. I already mentioned that. Or in order to get a job, lie on the CV, anything at all to put you in their camp, anything at all, anything of compromise. That's how actually secret societies operate. They gotta put something on you, they gotta catch you on camera doing something ugly, so that they will always have something on you in order for you to get ahead and succeed and be a musician or whatever. So similarly to secret societies, unless you go and have a baby out of wedlock, they won't let you thrive and have a career in corporate. Unless you sleep with a guy, unless you lie on a CV, unless you do this and that, unless they will literally tell you how because we had to do something to get ahead. All of us had to do something to get ahead. All of us had to sell our souls to get ahead. All of us had to slay some chickens to get ahead. All of us had to drink baby blood to get ahead. All of us, go fella. So now you gotta do it too. You gotta go manje nawe. Uyo human sacrificer. Umtanako. Uyo human sacrificer. Uyo cousin. Ulo tamaya. When ulo secha kolobe or whatever. Just so you can do basic things like buy tampons, earn a living. Basic things like buy your own clothes, basic things like sleep on a warm bed and be comfortable, have security, have safety, basic things like not have to ration toilet paper. Yeah, they will tell you in order for you to have enough toilet paper that you won't have to ration it and hide it from people, in order for you to not live with people that hide things from you. In order for you to not have to live with people that literally hide food in pockets of their bedrooms, you gotta first have a baby out of wedlock. That's what they're telling you. That's what they're telling you. In order for you to be able to take it grandpa every time you have a headache without having to beg 10 times for just 1 ounce of that grandpa, just a tea, like a small little, like, a drop of a pipette worth of grandpa powder on your tongue. Because just for you to get that one little grandpa, to get a job so you can buy yourself your own grandpa. That's what they tell you. So you must just walk around in these streets because when you can buy your own grandpa. Like when you have to negotiate for tampons so hectically that you end up in defela. So for the sake of not having to bother anybody, using tissue all throughout your period. That is what they're telling you. They're telling you, unless you take the mark of the beast, you can't buy or sell. Except this is not the tribulation. This here is just spiritual manipulation by people who have used witchcraft for everything, trying to grab daughters and sons of God who have waited on Christ for answered prayer and make them do what they did to get ahead. Just because they, like I said, they slaughtered them chickens. Let them continue slaughtering their chickens. But as for you and your house, you will serve the Lord. And if they think they can take you to the edge of suicide, herein lies the deal. God knows how to rescue you literally from 5 seconds away from drowning yourself in a bathtub. God knows how to vomit pills out of your body. God knows how to make sure that an HIV test comes back negative because you don't yet know between heaven and hell, and that you can't just kill yourself because you're HIV positive. God knows how to save you before you know him. And once you know him, he knows how to make you strong in sorrow because you are mature enough to handle pain. And when then that pain reaches the nth of itself, when it gets so extreme that you start to feel like because God, that's when you will get your job. The Lord will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able. God gave me enough for just today. I'll probably wake up depressed again, wanting to die. I'll come back and I'll talk again. Backlogged 20,000 years from now with lots and lots of content. But bottom line is, I'm alive another day, aren't I? I will survive until I can't survive anymore. Somebody is going to call me. Either the rapture is going to happen, but there's no way I'm leaving this earth through a suicide. Like proper, nothing is ever going to give. There is nothing that a man or a woman that is wicked, that is in the occult, can ever do for you as a Christian. Unless they want to repent, they will always look at you as competition. Cain, if you do what is right, will you not be rewarded? They don't want to listen to God. They don't want to hearken to God. I use that analogy, not analogy, but that explanation about how heaven and hell, how eventually people are like literally predestinated for hell. Yeah, it's because like Cain, instead of choosing to do what is right and so be rewarded, he would rather kill his brother Abel. They are Cain. Just seek the Lord's face to stay you from ever being in the company of men and women so besotted with sorcery that they will hate your patience in God. Just ask God not to let that be your boss, even if it might be your colleagues, because you can't escape them all. Just ask the Lord to make sure that they're not the ones helping you get a job or helping you move from one country to another, helping you find asylum, because they will leave you out on a limb at a border of a country where you don't even have a passport because you refused to take the mark of the beast. They will leave you high and dry all that I am asking you Christians to keep asking God for is for him to protect you from men and women so besotted with cutting corners that they will despise your purity in Christ enough to leave you hanging in midair, plunging to your death just because you refused to take a parachute that came with terms and conditions that had everything to do with abandoning Jesus. Just seek the Lord's face for that, and he will be faithful, because if at all you pray to him to help you stay strong in him, he will never say no. He will never withhold from you righteousness. They are trying to steal your crown. Don't let them take it. And as for suicide, please guys, don't do it. Like, my prayer is that you will latch on to me and my story long enough to see that I survive it. That's all I can say. I hope you've been edified. I'm signing out in Christ's name, Cran K. Peace.